This is Chris with Ales. Like, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris with Ales, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. It'll be down there in the description box, and I'm here to do my WWE Friday Night SmackDown, April 28th, 2023 reviews. So here we go, discussing about tonight's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. Now, this is the first night of the WWE draft for this year. The second night will be on this Monday's Raw. So yeah, we had Triple H come out, and sadly we don't get the randomizer or whatever, where the screen picks who's getting drafted to where. I wish I was going to come back, but that's not the case. But it's alright. So yeah, Triple H comes out and he starts explaining the draft rules and everything about, like, SmackDown will get his picks, Raw will get his picks, 50% will get drafted tonight, 50% will get drafted on Monday. He showed on the screen who will be the ones getting drafted for tonight on SmackDown, to like Raw and SmackDown. Like, it was showing like Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, a bunch of superstars, and then you got the other page that will be showing on Raw or whatever, like the other half of the stars getting drafted on Raw. So yeah, that's what he was showing, and he was saying that, the draft, like with the superstars and stuff being on the brands and stuff, will not be actually taking place until after Backlash. So yeah, the Monday Night Raw after Backlash or whatever. So, like, for instance, Seth Rollins, let's say he got drafted to SmackDown, he'll be on Raw this Monday, and yeah, stuff like that. So yeah, or like Sheamus is on SmackDown, he gets drafted to Raw, he could be on SmackDown next week up until after Backlash. So yeah, that's the example pretty much right there. But yeah, other than that, Triple H announces the first draft, like the first round of the drafts for tonight. So for the first pick, SmackDown gets the first pick, and they get three people: the undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, and Paul Heyman. So yeah, they're the ones that gets drafted to Friday Night SmackDown as the first pick or whatever. So yeah, the Usos are not drafted with Roman in them. The first pick for Monday Night Raw was Cody Rhodes. So yeah, Cody Rhodes will be going to Raw, staying on Raw. The second pick, which is for SmackDown, was the WWE Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair. So yeah, Bianca Belair is drafted to Monday Night Raw, which I hope they don't do that title swap thing with Rhea Ripley. So I hope that's not the case, because that was a stupid idea years ago with trading titles and stuff. Hopefully that's not the case. And then the second pick for Monday Night Raw was Becky Lynch. So yeah, those are the picks for the first round, and we'll be getting more rounds later on tonight. But then after that, he introduces Jimmy and Jay, the Usos. So yeah, the Usos come out, and they was talking about how they dedicate their victory to the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns and all that. How they send an email, like how Roman has to send answers to their emails, their phone calls, or anything like that. But they said that it's still dedicating their match victory to the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. So yeah, that's what the Usos were saying. And then all of a sudden, the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn come walking out, and they started talking. Sami Zayn was talking about, don't y'all get it? Like, if y'all lose, y'all going to get kicked out the bloodline, because obviously, if you could tell, Roman's the one that got him and Solo and Paul Heyman drafted to SmackDown, and y'all ain't even on that. So yeah, that's what Sami Zayn was explaining. And then Jimmy Uso was talking about how, Sami, you better shut up, because after y'all lose the tag team titles, your boy Kevin Owens is going to be turning his back on you like he always does. And Kevin Owens is getting pissed off about that. He goes like, look, I don't care. Later on tonight, we're going to retain the tag team titles, and nothing's going to happen with us, but the bloodline is going to be breaking up. So yeah, that's what he was saying. They all got face to face. But yep, that's what happened there. Later on tonight, the Usos will be taking on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in a WrestleMania rematch for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships in the main event. But up next, it'll be Butch versus LA Knight one-on-one up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Friday Night SmackDown. See you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, we get to the next match of the night. It was LA Knight versus Butch one-on-one. Now, Sheamus and Rich Holland decided not to be at ringside for Butch's match. So yeah, Butch was all alone. And yeah, they were showing like the locker rooms and the superstars and stuff were in the Raw locker room and the SmackDown locker room, stuff like that. So yeah, that's what they was doing. But yeah, we get to the next match, and this match, it was a pretty good match between LA Knight and Butch. It was going back and forth and everything. Thought a few times that LA Knight was going to win this one. Same for Butch. At one point, LA Knight hit a nice superplex off the top turnbuckle on Butch. Almost had him, but Butch barely kicking out at two. Butch at one point kicked LA Knight upside the head, and he almost got the third count, but Knight kicked out at two as well. But then we get to the very ending where we see LA Knight try to hit a finish move, blunt force trauma BFT onto Butch, but Butch reverses it and locks on the armbar onto LA Knight, trying to make him tap out, but LA Knight puts his feet on the ropes, getting rope break, so the referee pulled Butch off of him, so Butch had to break up the submission. LA Knight's on the ring apron, Butch tries to grab him and stuff, but LA Knight grabs his arm and slings him into the ring post, and then he gets back into the ring, grabs him, and hits blunt force trauma onto him, and then he pins him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, LA Knight defeated Butch tonight on Friday Night SmackDown. That's what happened. Pretty good match, though. I give that match 3 stars. That's why I'll give it. Really good match between Butch and LA Knight. So, yeah, really good stuff. But then after that, we see Rob Van Dam walking out the Raw locker room because apparently he's going to be, I guess, doing the draft for the Raw side. And then we see Michael P.S. Hayes walking out the SmackDown locker room. So it looks like he's going to be announcing the SmackDown side. So, yeah, that will be up next. But, yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Friday Night SmackDown. See you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, it was a triple threat tag team match. But before we talk about the triple threat tag team match, we're going to talk about round 2 of the WWE draft for tonight. Now we have Rob Van Dam doing pretty much on the Raw side, and then Michael P.S. Hayes on the SmackDown side. So yeah, they was announcing the drafts for Raw and SmackDown. So yeah, Michael P.S. Hayes, that got drafted to SmackDown was Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, the Street Profits. So yeah, the Street Profits are on Friday Night SmackDown. Rob Van Dam then said that the guys that's getting drafted to Monday Night Raw will be the Intercontinental Champion Gunther, Ludwig Kaiser, and Giovanni Vinci Imperium. So yeah, Imperium will be on Monday Night Raw. The next draft pick for Friday Night SmackDown was Edge. And then the next draft pick for Monday Night Raw was Matt Riddle. So yeah, those are the second round draft picks right there for Raw and SmackDown. But then we get to the next match of the night. It was Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, the Street Profits, versus Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro, LWO, versus Braun Strowman and Ricochet in a triple threat tag team match. And yeah, before this triple threat tag team match even happened, we had the Street Profits come out to the ring, and yeah, they started talking on the mic, talking about how they're finally back on the blue brand and all that stuff, and then they're going to be doing really good, and yeah, that's what they were saying. And if everybody wants to smoke, they can come and get the smoke. So yeah, that's what they were saying. But yeah, we got triple threat tag team match, and this match was pretty good. Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro jumping off everything. We see Braun Strowman pretty much punching Montez Ford off the ring apron, saying for Cruz del Toro, and then he gets outside the ring, hitting shoulder blocks on everybody. And then we see Angelo Dawkins running up, jumping over the top rope with a front flip onto Braun Strowman. He was a legal man. Then we see Ricochet jump over the top rope onto Angelo Dawkins, taking him out, and he throws him back into the ring, climbs up the top turnbuckle, jumps off, tries the 630 senton onto Angelo Dawkins, but Dawkins moves out the way, and then Ricochet lands on his feet. He hits a jumping knee to the face on the Dawkins, and then he runs to the ropes, and he comes back in, and he gets hit with Sky High from Angelo Dawkins, and then he tags in Montez Ford, and Ford jumps off the top turnbuckle with the frog splash onto Ricochet, pinning him for the 3 count. So yeah, the Street Profits defeated Braun Strowman and Ricochet and the LWO tonight in the triple threat tag team match. That's what happened. Pretty good match though. For that match, I'll give it 3 stars. That's why I'll give it. Pretty good match between all 6 of these guys. So yeah, pretty good tag team match. But yep, that's what happened there. And still to come later on tonight, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn will be defending the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships up against the Usos later on tonight in the main event. So yeah, that match is still to come later on tonight. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention that the Usos was talking to Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa, and they was talking about how they dedicated the match to Roman Reigns and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what happened there. But yep, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, it was a one-on-one match. But before we talk about that match, we got to talk about the third round of the WWE draft. So we had JBL come out to pretty much do the SmackDown side and Teddy Long doing the Raw side. So yeah, JBL announced that the first pick on the third round, it was Bobby Lashley. So yeah, Bobby Lashley's getting drafted to Friday Night SmackDown. And then Teddy Long announced that the next person to get drafted to Monday Night Raw was Drew McIntyre. So yeah, Drew McIntyre would be going to Raw from SmackDown, and then to SmackDown we got AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, and Mia Yim, the OC. So yeah, the OC will be on Friday Night SmackDown. And then the last pick for Monday Night Raw was The Miz. So yeah, those are the people that was drafted to Raw and SmackDown. So yeah. But then we'll get to the next match. It was Zelina Vega versus Sonya Deville with Chelsea Green at ringside in a one-on-one match. This match was an okay match. Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green was trying to cheat multiple times during this match. Sonya Deville starts taking control at the very ending. She knocked Zelina Vega down. She tries to run to the ropes and comes back with a knee to the face onto her, but Zelina Vega ducks and then rolls Sonya Deville up for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Zelina Vega defeated Sonya Deville tonight on Friday Night SmackDown. But then after the match ended, while Zelina Vega's celebrating and stuff, we see the SmackDown Women's Champion Rhea Ripley coming up from behind her, attacking her, laying her out, and then Sonya Deville looks at Rhea Ripley going like, what the hell are you doing and stuff, and then Rhea Ripley just hits a headbutt onto Sonya Deville, taking her out. Chelsea Green was on the ring apron. Rhea Ripley scares Chelsea Green off, so yeah, that was pretty funny right there. And then Ripley grabs Zelina Vega, trying to hit Riptide onto her, but Zelina Vega reverses it into a nice DDT onto Rhea Ripley and quickly escaped out the ring. So yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good stuff for the match and what happened after the match and stuff. I'll give it 1.5 stars. That's what I'll give it, but it was okay. So yeah, but yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Friday Night SmackDown. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, now we see Zelina Vega talking to Santos Escobar backstage. And Santos Escobar was telling Zelina Vega that she did pretty good in her match against Sonya Deville and all that stuff, dealing with Rhea Ripley. And then Rey Mysterio comes up, and he pretty much tells Zelina Vega that she is the smallest or whatever, going up against Rhea Ripley, but it doesn't matter because she will definitely win the SmackDown Women's Championship if she believes in herself. So yeah, that's what Rey Mysterio was telling Zelina Vega. But then we get to the next segment where we see AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, and Mia Yim, the OC, coming out making their return. So yeah, Styles is returning from injury and stuff. It looks like they come out. And yeah, they was talking about, then all of a sudden, as soon as they was about to talk, all of a sudden we see Eric and Ivar and Valhalla, the Viking Raiders, come out, and then AJ Styles is like, okay, how about this? I'll go sit back over here, OC, you do your thing. And we see the OC brawling with the Viking Raiders, all of them. Mia Yim taking out Valhalla, knocking her out the ring, and then we see Ivar get knocked out of the ring, and then we see Anderson and Gallows hitting the Magic Killer onto Eric, laying him out. AJ Styles, and the OC's walking out, and then Styles is on the ring apron. He looks at Ivar, and he jumps off the top rope with a phenomenal forearm onto Ivar, laying him out. So yeah, that's what happened there. And they said that they were back on SmackDown. So yep, that's what the OC did. But yeah, pretty good segment though. So yeah, still to come later on tonight in the main event, the Usos will be taking on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship in a WrestleMania rematch later on tonight in the main event for tonight's episode of SmackDown. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Friday Night SmackDown. See you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, it was a main event. But before we talk about the main event, we got to talk about a few things that actually happened. So we had Shawn Michaels representing SmackDown and Road Dogg representing Raw. They come out doing the drafts and stuff. So yeah, for the final round and all that stuff. And the first pick for the final round for SmackDown was Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky, Damage Control. So yeah, Damage Control will be on Friday Night SmackDown now. For the first pick for Raw now will be Shinsuke Nakamura. So yeah, Shinsuke Nakamura is going to be making will be on Monday Night Raw. So yeah, this will be the first time that Nakamura is going to be like officially a member of Raw. So yeah, because he's always been on SmackDown since he came up on the main roster. But yep, that's what's going to be happening there. The next people that's going to be drafted to Friday Night SmackDown was the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. So yeah, they will be drafted to Friday Night SmackDown. And then the last pick for Monday Night Raw was the NXT Women's Champion, Indy Hartwell. So yeah, she will be going to Monday Night Raw. So yeah, those are the NXT picks right there. And then after that, we see Alba Fire and Isla Dawn getting interviewed backstage at the Performance Center and stuff. And yeah, they'll be defending the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships this Tuesday on NXT. So yeah, that's what's going to be happening there. But yep, that's what happened there. And then after that, we see Shinsuke Nakamura getting interviewed backstage. And while he was talking about it's going to be great to be on Monday Night Raw and all that stuff, he gets attacked by Karrion Kross. And Karrion Kross was with Scarlett. So yeah, Karrion Kross lays out Shinsuke Nakamura. And they got a match next week on SmackDown now. But yep, that's what happened there. And then after that, we see the Usos talking with, telling Solo Sikoa to come on and go with them for their match and all that stuff. And Paul Heyman says that no, Solo's going to be staying back here. The Tribal Chief wants y'all to go out all alone because tonight's going to be y'all's night. So yeah, that's what he says, and then the Usos go out. But yeah, we'll get to the main event. It was the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus Jimmy and Jay the Usos in a tag team match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships in the main event for tonight's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. This match, it was a pretty good match. It was going back and forth and everything. During this match, while it was going on, we see Paul Heyman backstage, and he gets on the phone while him and Solo Sikoa was watching the TV and stuff. And Paul Heyman got a phone call by Roman Reigns, and apparently Roman Reigns tells him some stuff, and Paul Heyman tells Solo Sikoa that it's his time to go out there. So yeah, that's what Solo's going to do. But yeah, we get back to the match. It was going pretty good and stuff. At one point, we see Kevin Owens hit the stunner on a Jimmy Uso. He pins him 1, 2. Jimmy Uso barely kicking out at 2. But after that happened, we see Solo Sikoa making his way down the ramp and stuff. And then we see Matt Riddle coming up, attacking Solo Sikoa. And him and Solo Sikoa just brawling throughout the crowd and stuff. So yeah, that's going on right there. And this match was going pretty good and stuff. Kevin Owens selling a leg injury and stuff like that. He kept on getting smacked with a bunch of super kicks as well. Getting pinned and stuff, but he kept on fighting through, kicking out at 2 multiple times and stuff. Jay Uso comes in there. He hits a super kick onto Kevin Owens after Kevin Owens tries to fight back and stuff. And then he tags in his brother Jimmy. They're setting up the 1D onto Kevin Owens. But then we see Sami Zayn grabbing Jay Uso and dragging him out the ring and stuff. Going at it with him outside the ring. And then we see Kevin Owens hit the stunner onto Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso falls back to the corner and stuff. Kevin tags in Sammy. Sammy comes in, hitting the Helluva Kick on a Jimmy Uso, and then he pins him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens defeated the Usos tonight on Friday Night SmackDown, and they have retained the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. That's what happened. Really good match, though. That was match of the night for me right there. Really great match between those two tag teams. And then we see Solo Sikoa just staring at the Usos, like shaking his head and stuff. So yeah. That's what happened there, and the Usos looked disappointed after that. But yeah, for that match, I'll give it 4.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was a pretty good match. That's why I'll give it. Definitely not better than their WrestleMania match, but still a really good match. That was match of the night right there. But yeah, for tonight's episode, Friday Night SmackDown with the draft and all that, I'll give it 7.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. So yeah, but yeah, that was SmackDown right there. This Monday, we got the second night of the draft that's coming up Monday. So, yeah, that'll be going on. SmackDown next week will be live in Puerto Rico. And then we got Backlash next week as well. And I'll be doing my predictions on Backlash and stuff like that eventually. So, yeah. But, yep, that's been my Friday Night SmackDown reviews. Like, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube. Subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris. And subscribe to this channel, Chris Dales. And follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. So I'll be down there in the description box. And I'll see you guys later for this Monday's Monday Night Raw reviews. See you guys later. Until then.